Hi team. So today we're going to learn how to take apart a Nintendo Switch. This is a regular LCD version, not the OLED version. Um, the classic, obviously. This is not a Switch Lite, just good old fashioned Nintendo Switch. So for this repair, you're going to be needing what is this? Y0 screwdriver bit, Phillips, obviously tweezers, and your beloved Jimmy. Also, a little mat would help to organize your screws. It's very imperative to keep this guys organized to the T. So, first thing you want to take apart is the Y000. There's 4 of them, 1 in each corner. Now, these are tricky. You don't want to push them too hard because they do get stripped quite easily. There we go. Two. Now, I know some of you guys have a computer background, so your instinct is to always just throw the screws together. Please don't. When it comes to smaller devices like phones and some consoles, always keep your screws separate or in some type of particular order. So we got those 4 out. Now we're going to need our Phillips. There are typically 1, 2, 3 screws. This one has obviously been taken apart before. There's one missing up here. So we are going to be just taking these 2. There's 1 and 2. And then we're going to be taking from the sides only the middle one off from each side. So middle one, here comes. Again, only the middle one. There's 5, let's take the 3rd one out, aka the middle one. Okay. Now that that's out, I'm going to take 1 more screw out, which is this one right here. It's right by the SD card. There you go. And now you can easily lift it. Okay, so now that we got that part off, we're going to be taking some more screws out. Again, some more Phillips. Let's see, can I get you guys to be closer? There we go. There we go. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Phillips. And again, do not mix those up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of you guys do have those bigger magnetic mads that you can write on. I suggest utilize that. You can always use a little marker that comes with it to put down something like, the set of screws comes from the metal plate or whatever. My bad. There's 7 screws. There we go. We can put this here. You can put it to the side, whichever. Remove this metal piece. Boom. Okay. So now we're in. First thing we always do, no exceptions to this rule, is disconnect this battery. Boom. Unplugged, you remove. Then we're going to proceed to disconnect the speakers. You want to be gentle with these because these will break easily for like no reason. See how this one's like fighting me a bit? There we go. So if you're tugging and it feels like it's not moving, pull back, try again. So now we're going to remove the heatsink, which is this, and this requires 3 screws. 1, 2, 3, There we go. And this always has thermal paste. This one's still not sure runny, but I always go ahead and replace it. Thermal paste doesn't cost as much, and it's just a good practice to make sure it's nice and even whenever you put it back together. So the next thing we want to remove is this game card reader. Very important on the switches when you're testing them afterwards. You will need this to be plugged in for you to get image and for the switch to turn on. You will need it. Do not get trolled if you're trying to test it. Without it, it will not get image. You won't get nothing, no signs of life. So that could be also a problem if you ever think that you worked on something and it's not working. Maybe not all the proper things are connected. So this one has 2 screws up here. Again, keep those separate. There you go. That's 3. You remove this guy. Now we're gonna get rid of the fan. Fan's got 3 big screws. They're not like the others, so they're easier to spot. The bottom one is the fan. And we're also going to disconnect the backlight flex. And then this would be the LCD or part of the LCD screen assembly. There you go. If I recall correctly, this one is for image. This one is for your digitizer or touch. Okay. This will be your kind of like your internal memory. I believe it's 32 or 64, depending on which model you have. You also want to be able to disconnect this. You don't have to, but I always do. Doesn't hurt. Now you have a few more screws to take apart and a few more things to disconnect. So on this side, it's probably just a little bit blurry. You still have an antenna or a coax connector. This right here is for your railing, your left railing. This one that we're unplugging at this moment. And this is part of the screen assembly as well. There we go. We've already disconnected the speaker. And this one right here is for your right railing. There we go. Now all of those are disconnected. Now we're going to proceed with removing some more screws. You got a couple black screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. One, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're also going to want to disconnect or remove these 2 Phillips screws that go to the side of each port. That's 1 and 2. And it's free. Free like the wind. So I hope this helps you guys. It was very fast to remove the motherboard. Took less than 10 minutes with me talking. Obviously, it's going to be a lot easier for you guys. As you guys can tell, this one has already been worked on the charging port. This one is here for no power issue. So we're going to go ahead and verify what the actual problem could be with this device and put it back together. Don't forget, very, very important, this has to be plugged in to get image or power, and also this. So these two always have to be connected at testing. And always, before you put it back together for your customer, add brand new thermal paste. It's never going to kill you to add brand new one. So, and you can also replace the thermal pads, but on this guy, thermal paste would suffice. So I will see you guys on the next repair video. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop it in the Discord group or feel free to DM me and we'll get those addressed. Alrighty guys, let's fix some consoles.